Hi, I'm Schaffer the Darklord, and today we're going to restore a vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon. Hit it!
They say collect them all and the prize is we collect all 12 of them guys. Collect all 31, collect all 41, collect all 79. It's really 80. Collect them.
Hey nerds, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please click like and subscribe. And also, please hit that bell so you can get notified of future content. Last time I mentioned that I had received a couple of action figures for my collection from a friend named C. Muldrow in Denver, Colorado. What I didn't mention is that C also had a vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon collecting dust on a shelf, and she offered to sell me that Falcon for a very kind price. I had a Millennium Falcon as a kid. I received it for Christmas in 1980. That Falcon from my childhood is long gone, and I haven't seen another one up close in decades. So just knowing that I was only 1 degree of separation away from this classic toy got me very excited about the possibility of getting my hands on it and attempting to restore it to its original glory. C sent me some pictures of her treasure, and I took her up on her offer. And she shipped it to me earlier this week. And I just received a tracking notification that the package is out for delivery right now. So it could be delivered any moment. I'm so excited. Now, like I said, C sent photos of her Falcon, so I'm already aware of a few missing or broke. Now, like I said, C sent photos of her Falcon, so I'm already aware of a few missing or broken parts that I will need to replace or repair. She noted that the cockpit is being held together with a rubber band, and from a shot of the interior, I can see that it's missing the false floor from the smuggling compartment. Surprisingly, it still has the arm from the Jedi training ball, but unsurprisingly, the string and ball appear to be missing. Now, I can't be sure just how much work this ship will need until I get my eyes on it, which is happening now. First off, I was wildly amused to discover that C chose to ship the Falcon to me in a box from online pet supply vendor Chewy. Nice touch. So let's just open up this box and wow, there it is. Kenner's Millennium Falcon was originally released in 1979 for the first Star Wars film, but it was repackaged and re-released for each subsequent trilogy film. And though this one has a date stamp of 1979, Kenner used the same mold from 1979 to 1983, so there's no way of telling if this is a Falcon released for Star Wars, Empire, or Jedi. Now obviously, this guy is going to need a deep cleaning, which will require a complete disassembly. But that's actually ideal for conducting a thorough inventory of the Falcon's surviving parts. I have identified 21 pieces that tend to get broken or go missing from these ships. These 21 pieces will need to be present or replaced before considering this toy complete. So let's go through the list. Ramp. Ramp strut left. Ramp strut right. Cockpit canopy. As it turns out, the cockpit canopy isn't actually broken. It's just that the design of its attachment isn't very intuitive. Cockpit canopy glass. Landing gear front. Landing gear rear left. Landing gear rear right. Top cover. Radar screen. Radar support. Radar base. Game table. This one appears to have some sort of pink substance stuffed in the inside. Is it crayon? Is it lipstick? I have no idea. Cannon. Cannon window. Cannon seat. Cannon support. False floor. As it turns out, the false floor wasn't missing. It was just out of frame in the photo that C sent. Jedi training ball rod. Jedi training ball string. Though I couldn't tell from C's photo, the original string is still intact. And what's even more impressive is that the original Jedi training ball is still here too. I was anticipating having to hunt down several of these original pieces online to complete this Falcon. Just the Jedi training ball alone, which is incredibly rare to find with this vintage toy, can command staggering prices on eBay. But I won't have to do that now because everything is here. I don't believe it. But that said, I still have a lot of work ahead of me. I still need to scrub everything down to remove the years and years of grime that have built up. I need to inspect and almost certainly repair the interior motor. This toy came with a C battery-powered electronics component that made a battle alert sound with the push of a button. This battle alert sound was little more than the irritating grinding of a small motor that is rarely still operational after years of lying dormant. And yeah, this one doesn't work. So we'll see what we can do once we get inside this thing. And almost all of the original stickers are gone, and the few that remain fall off at the gentlest of touches. I would like to preserve as many of these original labels as possible, but even if that effort is successful, I'm still going to need to get a full set of replacement decals. So let's crack this old hunk of junk open. To keep track of the screws as I remove them, I've drawn a map of the ship on a piece of foam core that will hold them in place. Inside, we can see that this cardboard graphics panel is in excellent shape, with very little sign of aging. Here we see the aforementioned battle alert sound motor, which we will carefully remove, securing its screws on another foam core map. With the ship now fully disassembled, we prepare it for cleaning by giving the hull a once-over with a dust cloth to remove the top layer of buildup. We'll then wash all of the Falcon's non-electronic pieces with regular dish soap and warm water. Since the surface sculpt features countless intricate nooks and crannies, I like to use a paintbrush to get the soap into every crevice before soaking it in the sink. Then I use a soft toothbrush to scrub away the years, and set the pieces on a clean towel to air dry. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me clean every last plastic piece of this thing, especially when there are more important matters at hand. Specifically, some fresh action figure collection updates. I visited a delightful vintage toy store in the Bronx called Dan's Parents' House, where I found Bespin Security Guard 2. Oh, but there's more. In episode 6, I revealed a couple figures that were gifted to me by fellow collector Chris Booth. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 more of Chris's gifts, starting with Bespin Security Guard 1. We saw these guys in Empire Strikes Back, serving as the security force of the mining colony Cloud City, floating high above the gas giant planet Bespin. In examining these figures, I had 2 questions. 1, do either of these guys actually appear in the film, or are these just random faces assigned to their action figures? Well, I can confirm that yes, these 2 guards do appear on screen, though very briefly. And 2, why did Kenner make 2 of these guys? By my count, we only see 7 actors in Bespin Guard uniforms, which is far from making them worthy of army building. And on screen, they aren't even involved in any battles. They're basically mall cops, just hired muscle for Lando. And when he gives the order to evacuate Cloud City after the Empire takes over, they just run for their lives like the other civilians. Though 2 of them do quickly drop their loyalties and immediately start taking orders from a bounty hunter they just met. I find it especially puzzling that Kenner chose to make 2 Bespin guards because the toy maker only made 1 version of the Rebel Commando figure, and additional versions of that soldier would have been a welcome addition to army builders recreating the Battle of Endor, the largest ground battle in the original trilogy. These 2 figures are strange too. Number 2 looks frightened, with a nervous expression on his face and body language that suggests he's about to make a run for it. And number 1 looks like he's wearing a disguise. I just assume that he's an Imperial defector who fled the Empire to this Outer Rim community looking for work, but took a security guard position when he realized that his only job skills were barking orders and pointing guns at people. And perhaps one of these 2 guys is this silhouetted guard who is seen posing like an actual action figure. We'll never know. I didn't have or even want either Bespin Security Guard action figure as a kid, but I guess I'll add them to my collection now as figures 61 and 62. Now let's check back in on our Falcon. All of the pieces have been thoroughly cleaned, and now it's time to put the ship back together. Well, after we repair the motor. There are 2 main reasons why the Falcon's motor can stop working after 40 plus years. One is because the copper battery contacts have become tarnished or corroded. Ours look pretty clean, but just to be safe, I'm gonna give them a light once-over with a very fine sandpaper. The other reason is because the oil in the motor has dried up over the years and caused the motor to seize. To fix this, I just need a little 3-in-1 oil. Please note, you need to use oil and not WD-40, as this will not lubricate the motor properly. I put a couple of drops in this hole on one end, then removed the motor's crank, and put a couple more drops in this other hole. Then I replace the crank and give it a few turns to get the oil nicely distributed throughout the motor. Then I carefully replace the delicate pieces holding the motor in place, throw in a couple of fresh C batteries, and now for the moment of truth. Success! I have brought this Millennium Falcon's battle alert sound back from the dead. I am a necromancer. Now we can reassemble the rest of the ship with the screws from our foam core map and prepare for the final stage of the restoration. But while all of those screws are being replaced, let's take a look at another figure we got for the collection from Chris. Ugnaught. We also saw these pig-faced workers in Cloud City and Empire Strikes Back. George Lucas loved filling his original trilogy movies with alien races of diminutive jerks. A New Hope had Jawas, Return of the Jedi had Ewoks, and Empire Strikes Back had Ugnaughts. In the scrap room scene, when Chewie searches for the stormtrooper blasted limbs of C-3PO's body, we see 3 Ugnaughts delight in taunting him with a game of keep away using the droid's head. When one of them fails to catch 3PO's golden nugget, another Ugnaught throws a milk crate at the frustrated Wookiee. These guys are dicks. The Ugnaught action figure came with a small white toolbox and a cloth apron in either purple or blue, though some collectors claim it came in only one of these colors and the other is a result of color fade over time. I didn't have this figure as a kid either, but I'm happy to have him now as he joins the collection as number 63. Now that our Falcon is reassembled, it's time to address its stickers. I saved all of the original stickers that did survive this Falcon's long journey to me in hopes of reattaching them after these other repairs. I also bought a sheet of reproduction stickers to supplement the ones that are missing, but seeing them next to one another now, I'm feeling like I just want to replace all of the stickers with the new ones. The old ones are brittle and the colors aren't very consistent when mixing and matching stickers in a set. I will keep the original sticker from the game table though, because it still feels secure in its placement. For placing the rest of the stickers, I downloaded a PDF of the Falcon's original instructions. Now, for the ship's assembly, it says, have daddy or mommy help. And for the stickers, it says, have mom or dad help. I was prepared to be offended on behalf of all the Gen X children who had this toy as a kid. But in the past hour, my attitude has changed. I didn't place these stickers on my childhood Falcon when I was a kid because it's a tedious chore far beyond the manual dexterity of a child. In placing these new stickers on this one now, I have earned a deep appreciation for the work my poor mother committed to decorating all of my childhood toys. And now, with the last of its stickers finally applied, I will call this vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon restored and complete. Let's take a look at it. Until I settle on a permanent display solution for it, this Falcon will join my collection, mounted proudly above my action figures. Thanks again, C. And now that this restoration is complete, only one question remains. But who's gonna fly it, kid? The answer is today's final collection update from Chris. Han Solo in Bespin outfit. This is the look that we see our beloved space pirate wear throughout The Empire Strikes Back. I love this look so much that I even own it in cosplay. I bought it years ago for a musical fan film that I created. I played multiple characters, I performed a bunch of my songs, and I live streamed the whole thing for my Patreon subscribers on May the 4th, 2021. Do me a favor, no more shouting stuff out, okay? Please, just show me some respect. I'll show you some. We won't have any trouble, okay? Great.
Eat you top.
Thanks, folks. Obviously, this is my favorite Han Solo costume, but that's not really saying much, because the only thing more limited than his scruples is his wardrobe. In A New Hope, we see Han wear one outfit, a white-collared shirt with a deep V-neck, a black vest, blue pants with a stripe of small red dashes, and a pair of black boots. The only exception to this is when we see him in a stormtrooper uniform. But he wears that over his one outfit, as evidenced by the fact that the heroes change back to their normal garb after escaping the trash compactor. In Empire, Han also wears only one outfit, though this time it's a white shirt with a tunic collar, a blue jacket, brown pants with a stripe of small yellow dashes, and a pair of dark brown boots. He wears this outfit throughout the entire film, with the exception of his Hoth battle gear, which I also believe he wears on top of his one look for this film, as evidenced by the fact that we see him in his so-called Bespin outfit in scenes right before and right after we see him in his snow gear. In Return of the Jedi, we see Han rescued from the Carbonite, still wearing his one Empire Strikes Back look, but once the heroes escape Tatooine and rendezvous with the rebels, we see that Han is still wearing this look, though his missing blue jacket has now been replaced with the black vest he wore in A New Hope. He then wears this outfit for the rest of Return of the Jedi, with the exception of his Endor battle gear, which is just a camo trench coat that he wears on top of this one look. And that's it. That's Han Solo's entire wardrobe. 2 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of boots, and 2 outer garments. So in Jedi, after they escape Jabba and reunite with the rebellion, and Han is still seen in his Bespin outfit, plus vest, I believe that those are the same clothes that he wore for a year in hibernation, which is why I theorize that at any point during the events of Return of the Jedi, Han Solo smells pretty bad. Somebody give this guy some fresh pants already. Even though I didn't have this figure as a kid, he was common in my other friends' collections, and I've always believed that this is the best figure Kenner ever made of the scruffy-looking nerf herder. My only complaint is his weapon. The other 3 Han Solo figures in the first 79, which is really 81, all came with his film-accurate smuggler blaster. But this Han came with the Bespin blaster, a weapon we never see Han or any other character actually wield on Bespin. In fact, of the 7 figures that came with this gun, the only one that we ever actually see hold it on screen is Hoth Rebel Soldier. So why did Kenner give their best-looking Han Solo figure the wrong gun? It's not like his iconic blaster was the focus of a pivotal moment in Empire or anything. I find this tiny detail so inexcusable that I will deviate from collection accuracy and display my Han Solo in Bespin outfit action figure with a vintage Kenner smuggler blaster as I add him to my collection as figure number 64. And these new additions mark a collection milestone, as I have now collected all of the figures for the characters we see in Cloud City. Just look at them. Absolutely beautiful. They truly belong here with us among the clouds. Did you have the vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon as a child? Or have you had success restoring other vintage Kenner Star Wars vehicles as an adult? Let us know in the comments. Oh, and I have some new merchandise for sale. This t-shirt features my name and the classic Kenner logo, along with representations of every accessory ever made for every vintage Kenner Star Wars action figure. Plus 2 extras that I threw in just for fun. You can get one now by visiting schafferthedarklord.com and clicking on store. And also,
2-1B Boss Trooper Snow, Zuckus R2 Sensor Scope, 3PO Limb Separate, 4-Lom IG-88.
join us again next time as I continue my adventure to collect, restore, complete, and display the first 79 vintage Kenner Star Wars action figures. And if my Tauntaun freezes before I reach the first marker, then I'll see you in hell. Yah!
79, collect them all in the prize, as we collect all 21 guys. Collect all 45, collect all 65, collect all 70.